It's starting to snow right now, so we'll try to hurry the program along so everybody can get back to work safely. So if everybody can stand for the pledge and remain standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we ask you to guide our city leaders in their decision-making as well as in their power of vision, community, and purpose. As we hear the State of the City address today, may we be mindful of our own lives and how we can help improve the lives of others and help this city move forward. We inspire our leaders to make wise decisions that align with the common good. We ask that you bless this food that we are about to enjoy and the men and women who have prepared it. We also ask that you bless the healthcare workers that are working so tirelessly through this pandemic. We ask all of this in your name, amen. Amen. Okay, please be seated. Brenda, are we ready? I believe we are. So we're gonna go ahead with the tables to my right, and as the tables to my right go through the line, we'll just keep going, and once everybody is seated, we'll go ahead with our 30 seconds of fame. We'll start with the mayor's, or the reserve table up here, the city table. If anybody wants to make any announcements, or if you've got an event going on, or if you want to just talk about your business for 30 seconds, feel free to come and form a line over here. And our beautiful Brooke, raise your hand, Brooke. Brooke has the horn, so if you go over 30 seconds, she's going to honk the horn at you. What does that sound like, Brooke? Make sure it's working. Okay. Okay, so if anybody wants to come up, feel free. Anyone? Nobody? Oh, Shannon. Come on up.
Hello, everyone. So I am Shannon Burhans from the Portage Township YMCA. Just to kind of give everyone a heads up, and if you could kind of help us spread the word a little bit, we have officially announced that we're starting a campaign to build a pool in Portage. So everyone, yay. So right now we have started our feasibility study this week. So not sure how long that's going to take us, but we're really excited.
How can you follow an announcement of a pool? I'm John Cannon. I'm with the Indiana Attorney General's office. Please go to indianaunclaimed.gov and find yourself some money. I found some money for Councilman Williams and for Mayor Lynch this last week, and so it's out there. indianaunclaimed.gov. Sorry. Thank you all.
Hello, my name is Amy Wolf, and I'm a new staff member at the VNA Hospice of Northwest Indiana, and I just wanted to give a quick plug to our Meals on Wheels program. We serve over 50 seniors here in Portage, and so we are looking for more volunteers if anyone's interested, and then we will also have a fundraiser coming up, so more details to come, and I'll make sure it gets e-blasted out to everyone.
I'm Jerry Zarnicki. I'm the new Assistant Executive Director at Neighbors Educational Opportunity, or NEOS. And so what I wanted to do real quick is I wanted to play a Did You Know with NEO. Did you know that NEO is located in Portage, Indiana? Yep. It's at the old Camelot Center, Bowling Center. NEO has adult education programs that offer classes in adult education, English as a second language, U.S. citizenship, and workplace training and certification. Did you know that NEO has adult education centers in East Chicago, Gary, Lake Station, the Porter County Jail, and Valparaiso? Did you know that NEO runs New Vistas High School, a public high school that offers an opportunity, I didn't hear it, to earn a high school diploma for students of any age? And did you know that we can support your business by working with your employees to get their high school or secondary accreditation and improve their English skills? If you'd like more information, come see me. I'll be the floating head once everybody stands up. So, thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jose Diaz, and I just wanted to quickly introduce myself. I'm working out of the office of U.S. Senator Todd Young. I'm his regional director here in Northwest Indiana. I cover approximately 11 counties up in Northwest Indiana, so I look forward to connecting with you all. Please seek me out if there's anything I can do to help support or provide any assistance as it relates to the federal aspect of things. Thank you.
Good afternoon, I'm Ray Ann Trachis. I'm with Cleveland Cliffs, the large steel mill on the lakefront. We are hosting a community open house on Tuesday, March 8th. It's a free event. We invite you to come from 5 to 7:30. Come meet our staff, come learn more about our operations. We will have both local and corporate there, so we welcome you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Candace Arvin. I'm with General Insurance Services as an employee benefits advisor. I work in healthcare. Please don't boo me off the stage. My goal is to work with business leaders like you guys just to help minimize your healthcare spend so you can maximize your business's growth. Recruiting and retaining top talent is a challenge for everyone right now, but having a robust benefits package is a great way to do that for your company and for your team. So let me know if you have questions.
Hi, I'm Robin Bender. I have On the Rocks, and about a year ago we opened Decibels, our music venue. Just wanted to let everybody know that we have great musical shows. We have Great White, Jack Russell from Great White, who's supposed to be here tomorrow. We have comedy shows every other Friday, and next month we have Bobcat Goldthwait. So hope everybody can try to attend at least one event.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Eileen Meingassner. I am with Community Healthcare Systems. I'm their new occupational healthcare account executive. So if you have any needs with your employees, we do pre-hire physicals, drug screens, respirator fit tests. We can also take care of them if they happen to get injured with your work comp injuries. Get in touch with me. I have cards, and hopefully we can help you navigate the occupational health clinics.
Okay, so I would like to introduce our speaker for today. She grew up in Wheeler and has lived in Porter County for the past 25 years. She has served as Executive Director of Peoples Against Hazardous Landfill Sites for 12 years. In addition, she worked for the Calumet Park Cemetery. In 2002, she was elected to serve a term on the Portage Township Advisory Board and was re-elected in 2006. She was elected to the Portage City Council in 2007 and re-elected in 11 and 15. While she was on the council, she was the city council president. She was on the Redevelopment Commission, Porter County Recycling and Waste Reduction District, Portage Traffic Commission, Portage Licensing Board member, Mayor Senior Advisory Committee, and she is currently serving on the NERC Executive Board, amongst many, many other things. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce my friend, Portage Mayor Sewage.
Can everybody hear me? Now can you hear me? No? So good afternoon, everyone. It's good to see all of you in person. I love the in-person thing. This has been a challenging few years for our administration, but today I'm really excited and I'm happy to share with you some of the accomplishments that we have made and give you a little bit of a sneak peek of what we have planned in the months ahead. Before I begin, I'd like to take a moment to thank Nancy Simpson from the Greater Chamber of Commerce, who is hosting today's event. I'd like to thank the Parks Department for setting up this huge room for us. I'd like to thank Strachan Van Til for that wonderful meal. Thanks to you, Strachan Van Til, that was a wonderful meal. And thanks to Zernell Shackelford and Joyce Russell for their hard work in setting up the PowerPoint presentation and the video that's allowing us to live stream this event for people who will not be able to attend today. Things like this don't magically happen. It takes a village, like I say, and I appreciate everybody who played a role in today's event. It's hard for me to believe that we are entering our third year in office. The first 2 years of this administration was challenging, to say the very least. As I have said before, we came into office in 2020 with $11,600 in our general fund, and we couldn't even make payroll. Due to a heavy debt load, weak financial practices of the past, and lack of transparency, we were quickly moving towards becoming a distressed city. We knew that coming in. We took on that challenge, and we are working hard to move our city onto stronger financial footing. But I need to let you know, it's a slow process. It's not going to happen overnight, and we are a long way from the finish line as we continue to deal with the ramifications of the previous administration's bad financial practices, which continue to impact us to this day, with most recently causing our bond rating to be lowered again. Despite those financial constraints, we have continued to move forward to grow and invest in our city and improve in the quality of life by providing good jobs for our residents. This year, we're going to be adding 2 new firemen to bringing us up to 64 firemen and adding another police officer, which I believe brings us up to 69, in turn, which has allowed us to have a second full-time resource officer in the Portage Township Schools. And this is something I was committed to and working towards when I became your mayor. Our growing financial strength and the stability of our Redevelopment Commission has allowed us to cash flow the projects that we have undertaken this past year. And that has happened because our Director of Community Development, AJ Monroe, has been committed to keeping RDC focused on our goals and staying committed to sticking to our budget. And I also want to thank the commission members for their dedication as well. All of this has taken up a team of dedicated city leaders, city employees, volunteers, and community advocates to provide the quality of life that every single Portage resident deserves. I'm hugely thankful for our city attorney, Dan Whitten, who is sitting here today. He has kept us on the straight and narrow and offered advice and counsel when we needed it, not only just to myself, but our department heads can tell you he's been there for them on a daily basis sometimes. To my executive assistant, my right hand, my sounding board, Norma LeBoy. Most of you know that other than Dan, and due to the city's financial issues, I have just one employee in the mayor's office. This is a huge job for Norma, and she does amazing at juggling everything that goes on from day to day. And to our city council, thank you, council members. Thank you, Council President Zilli, who is over here, Councilperson Williams, Podgorski, Alvarez, Gully, Geist, Hurst, and Clem for forward thinking on all these events that we have been working on. You are a stable background for the mayor's office, and I appreciate everything that you do as council people. I'd like to thank the clerk treasurer's office and her staff, who have spent countless hours working with our financial advisors, Baker Tilly, getting our city's finances and our records back on track. This was not an easy task by any means, and as I have previously stated, our city's finances were far worse than we even suspected when we came in. And I want to thank our department heads and their assistants, because they're the very heart and soul of the day-to-day operations of this city. Police Chief Mike Candiano and Assistant Chief Uzelak, Fire Chief Randy Wilkening and his staff, Director of Community Development AJ Monroe, Park Superintendent Lori Wilkie, Harbor Master Barb Lesko, Field Forces Superintendent Dan Commenda, Street Department Superintendent Randy Reeder, and to the 2 newest members of our team, Wastewater Treatment Plant Superintendent Tracy Marshall, I'm so proud to have you on, Tracy, Building Commissioner Richard Jones. Can you see those pictures? Are they popping up on the screen? Both Tracy and Richard are highly qualified individuals, and we are so glad to have them come on board and be part of our team. My heartfelt thanks to each of you, because you are hardworking, dedicated, and committed to our city, and that is what makes Portage the great city it is. I'd also like to give a couple of shout outs here to our recently retired building commissioner. I'm sure you all know him, Doug Sweeney, our longtime wastewater treatment plant superintendent, Don Slonikowski, and our deputy clerk treasurer, Lynn Reed. These 3 amazing people served our city for a total of over 80 years. And they hold more institutional knowledge than you could even imagine. They have been dedicated, committed individuals, and we want to wish them well, and we want them to know that we really miss them. I'd also like to thank our residents who serve on various boards and commissions. We have one sitting at our table today, our newest Board of Works member, Stephanie Johnson. We appreciate and thank you for all you do. We have worked hard these past 2 years to bring new voices and new faces to our boards, not only to diversify representation on our boards, but to better reflect who we are as a city and make sure that the best, most knowledgeable people, all of whom have a servant's heart, are helping us make the important decisions that make city government run. Today, Portage is made up of a bunch of partnerships. Everybody knows that I love partnerships and partnering with people because it just makes so much more happen for your city. And I've said this many, many times, it takes a village, and these partnerships are a great part of this village. Portage Stronger Together was formed at the beginning of the pandemic. The partnership joined with the Portage Township Trustee's Office, the Portage Township Schools, the Portage Township YMCA, all in a single-minded effort to make Portage better than it could be. At the height of the pandemic, Portage Community Stronger Together worked to make sure that no resident, no child, no adult went hungry during that time. And the group continues to meet and join minds and hands to address the quality of life and the quality of place in our community. The Mayor's Senior Advisory Committee, some of the members are here today. I know Julie is here. This group of people has been around for 21 years, and they have been representing our senior community. They're made up of representatives and organizations and businesses who serve in this community. Last year, even despite COVID, the group handed out Valentine's Day cards and cookies to Bonner senior members in a drive-through lunch. We hosted 2 brunch and a movie events and participated in Senior Day at the fair. And we also sent out questionnaires to our seniors to make sure if they had any needs, we would be there for them. PEP, which is our Portage Event Partnership Committee, they're a small but a mighty group of people, and they organized one of the best 4th of July events we've seen in a long time. They hosted Light Up the Gourds, which was an event that brought over 800 people to walk through a lighted display of 700 pumpkins at Imagination Glen, as well as hosting our Christmas celebration last year, which was a little bit smaller because we were in construction with City Hall, and we were also in construction with Founders Square. This year promises, Santa, I know you're here, we promise it's going to be much better this year, so get ready. I'm happy to announce also that PEP partnered with the American Legion Post 260 to bring the Post annual Memorial Day. It was a huge service that we had at Founders Square. I'm sure that some of you were there. I believe it was one of the best attended Memorial Day services we've had in a long time. And we will continue to host that Memorial Day at Founders Square again this year with Post 260 and their auxiliary, along with hanging our hometown hero banners. And I know that those were very well received. We've actually run out of light posts now. We could probably have more banners if we had more light posts, but that was very well received, and I really want to give a special thanks to Joyce Russell for bringing that program to us, because she worked really hard in organizing all of those banners and making that happen. I'm also happy to announce, thanks to Norma LeBoy and council members Gina Geishurst and Ferdinand Alvarez, that the Portage Youth Commission is back. This is yet another thing that this administration was committed to reconvening after it had been on a lengthy hiatus. I feel really strongly that it's important for all Portage residents, and that includes the voices of our young people, to participate in government. After all, they are the future of Portage. Our goal is to provide them with not only a wonderful community in which they can grow up in, but a community where they can return to and serve in once they go through college or whatever training they're going to go through. We want them to come back here, participate in our community, raise their families, and be a part of us. We need their fresh ideas. We need their enthusiasm as we make Portage the best community it can be. When I became mayor, I was committed to bringing back the Mayor's Charity Ball. You know, this had been something that had gone on for many years. When I moved to the city, I remember attending the Mayor's Ball, the Charity Ball, and it was held right here in this room, and it was an amazing event. And my goal was to bring it back. Now, I want to make it very clear that the Mayor's Charity Ball is not a political event. It is a partnership between the Mayor's office and individuals, organizations, and businesses who want to give back to the community. A small group of individuals worked with me to put this dinner dance together for the sole benefit of helping our nonprofit organizations. They are the backbone of our city many times. The night of the charity ball, we distributed $21,000 to various organizations who provide services in this community. And we will be hosting another charity ball again, I believe, July 30th. So I hope you'll all attend. It was a wonderful event. We're already in the works of making that happen. As your mayor, I work with and I consult with mayors throughout the region in a bipartisan effort on issues facing our cities and towns. It's a great group of mayors. We glean a lot of information from each other. As mayors, we serve as commissioners on the NERPC board, and I also serve as a member of the executive board. Serving on these boards give the city of Portage a voice that had been lacking in regional development in previous years. The distribution of state and federal funds is vital to our city's progress, especially with the new double track going right through the northern portion of our city. And I was delighted to host the governor's aide this week, along with AJ, touring our city and talking about the double track and the TDD that's going to happen on the northern part of our city. They were quite blown away by our city, because I think some people think the city is Portage's steel mills in Lake Michigan, and they were amazed at the amount of open space that we have and the possibilities that exist for this city. Another important partnership that we have is with the National Park Service. This past summer, our city worked with Superintendent Leibowitz to tackle the continuing beach erosion at the lakefront and Riverwalk. The National Park Service had purchased tons of armor rock to stabilize the beach and slow down the erosion, but they didn't have any way to move these giant boulders around. And so our city forces partnered with the National Lakeshore and moved those rocks along the beach to stabilize the beach. And we will be working with them on a couple other projects in the next few months. Portage is also blessed to have a strong faith community through Faith Action Network, which is comprised of many of our church leaders who come together to address social issues in our city. FAN is an important partner with the city because they bring a spiritual, faith-based perspective to discussions on a myriad of topics, and one of them that's near and dear to their heart and mine, and I know many other people in the city, is homelessness. And finally, a partnership that is near and dear to my heart is one that began in a simple discussion over a year ago with Jesse Butts, who is the director of the Porter County Library System. And this is a goal to have an outdoor learning center built on the old police station property adjacent to the library. The plans are being drawn. There is a small sketch, I believe, if you can see it up here. This is going to be an amazing project for our city, especially our youth and the library, and you're going to be hearing a lot more about this in the next couple of months. I again want to thank all of our partners who we worked with in the past, and we are going to continue to work with them to make Portage a better place for all of our residents. Looking back to last year, I'm amazed at what we have accomplished despite all of the obstacles that we have had to overcome. As you know, the city received $8.3 million in federal rescue plan money. Council members Zilli and Podgorski, along with myself, the clerk treasurer, and Attorney Witten, have worked hard the past few months to compile suggestions that we received from the public, our department heads, and the city council members to present a plan to the city council for adoption. With all the needs we have in our city, it was not an easy task to come up with a spending plan, because $8.3 million truly is not a lot of money when you're trying to do some very big projects. The initial plan was adopted last November. However, recent changes to the ever-changing federal guidelines will give us additional flexibility as to where best to spend these funds. In March and April, the City Council will consider further actions to the plan and will hold a special meeting to specifically address with the public where we might want to put these monies. So be sure that you attend the March and April meeting. Watch for meetings coming up, because we want to hear from everybody, what do you want to see us doing with these funds? We got the first half of that money in July of this past year, and we'll get the balance of it in July of next year, of this year. Some of the spending has actually already been approved by the council, who, by the way, is the only one that can authorize the spending of ARPA dollars. This included providing each of our full-time employees with a $1,000 in hazard pay, and at the end of 2021, we gave that out, as well as prorating an amount for our part-time employees. We're also using a portion of the funds for COVID mitigation, purchasing PPE, and upgrading our systems used to stream public access to our meetings. The ARPA funds were a one-time boost to our economy and will be used for infrastructure and technology improvements, as well as community development, and now possibly the opportunity to assist our city in some of their financial problems. Another very important thing that we are doing with ARPA funds has to do with our wastewater treatment plant. We are ever mindful of the age of our sanitary plant and its needs, including the need for new clarifiers. We have 6 clarifiers at the plant. A couple weeks ago, one of our clarifiers went down, and it's not repairable. These clarifiers are over 50 years old. They should have had attention a long time ago, and we are committed to making sure that these clarifiers are replaced. It's going to cost $2 million to replace these clarifiers. $1 million of that money is going to come from the ARPA money to help get these clarifiers in place, hopefully by the end of summer. And well, working on your wastewater treatment plant may not sound like a sexy project to you. It certainly is, because our wastewater treatment plant is a vital part of the operations of our city, and we need to keep them maintained because we are currently in a growth spurt, and so we need to be ever mindful of our plant. The plant is also going to have some technology upgrades, and another thing that we are upgrading is body cams for our police officers, and our police officers know that we are committed to getting them body cams. We're probably one of the few police departments around here that does not have them, and we need to have them, as well as additional training for our police department. So ARPA dollars will be used in that way too. Maintaining our roads and our residents is also a priority. The extension of Robbins Road and the addition of a traffic signal at Willow Creek and Robbins was one of my top priorities when I took office, and I'm happy to say we got it done. Now, I know there was a lot of backlash from people around that area, but I'm telling you now, they're saying to me, we're so glad that light's there. It's so much safer for our moms and their kiddos going into that YMCA. The project was funded by the Redevelopment Commission, but it not only provided a safer access in and out of the YMCA, but it was an economic development project as well, because by putting in that extension, access to property which had previously been landlocked is now open for development. Work began last year and will continue on our city's downtown. Everybody knows I'm the downtown gal, and I want nothing more than to see a vibrant, pedestrian-friendly downtown where families can gather and there's all kinds of events. 2 projects were substantially completed at Founders Square last year, late, and the final touches are going to take place this spring, like landscaping and just touching up. The first project was a remodel of Founders Square and eliminated that public street that goes between north and south of Founders Square. And this allows children to easily go between the north and the south sides without running out into a street and having to worry about your kiddos being hit by a car. This will also allow food trucks to have their own power supply, because everybody knows that when the food trucks were there and they plugged in, they had to hook to a noisy generator, and it was very distracting. So if you drive by there now, you will see all of these electrical boxes popped up, and that's for our food trucks. The new Founders Square also has a beautiful gate. If you drive by it, you can see it as the gate up there. The gate is absolutely beautiful. And that opens and closes to allow the food trucks in, but is closed off through traffic. There won't be any traffic going through there. The new Founders Plaza, which is between the police station and the fire station, was also substantially completed last year. The area had always been designated for kind of a public space, a people spot. This year, we're looking at how to program the plaza, as well as what we will do with the north end of that property as well. Late last year, the RDC purchased the former Little League fields just to the west of Founders Square after the charter for the Portage organization was canceled. Personally, as someone who played softball, coached my children, coached the junior and senior high softball teams at Wheeler, that broke my heart because I think this is a wonderful opportunity for our kids. Little League had provided wonderful opportunities for thousands of Portage of youth over the past several decades. However, the future of a private organization such as Little League is outside of our city's control. And once we learned that there would no longer be a Portage Little League and the organization's intentions were to sell the property, our primary concern was how that property would be used in the future for the best interests of our city, our youth, and all of the people that live within the city. We currently have HWC Engineering developing a master plan for the 8 acres. In fact, there were a group of about 12 of us that met last night. They already have been holding stakeholders meetings and are going to hold a workshop and public hearing in the very near future. So if you're interested in commenting on this spot, please come out. We want to hear from you. We hope to have this plan finalized by the end of March, so watch for meetings coming up. And there's going to be more work in the downtown this year, as the goal of the RDC is to continue to invest in our downtown, which includes updating the master plan. The last time the master plan was updated was my first year on the council, so it's been many years since we did that. A lot of things have happened in the city since then. We need to update that master plan. Another amenity which we will be adding this spring is an approximate 50-car municipal parking lot just north of the police station. So if you drive through that area north of the police station, you'll see contractors have already placed millings from last year's road projects on that property to provide a base. This allowed us to recycle the millings, and we also saved money in the process. Now, I want to stop for a minute and talk a little bit about our Redevelopment Commission and what they have actually accomplished. 2 years ago, when I took office, the Redevelopment Commission had just over $1 million in its bank account. Going into 2022, that balance has grown to $7.5 million. Well, the RDC has been able to provide funding for everything from road projects to the purchase of the former Little League fields. They've also been working hard to build up their cash reserves. Last year, the RDC sold some 20 acres of property, which is helping us get back on an even keel. The Commission and the Redevelopment Department have been able to adhere to a strict budget by not wildly spending funds or by using the RDC's bank account as a city slush fund. Another project cash flowed by the RDC, which began last year and will be completed soon, is the renovation of our City Hall. Again, this has been a project that's been talked about for many years, but was not able to be accomplished, and so with some detailed forward thinking on financing, we were able to get that project started. As you know, the City Council and other boards and commissions have been homeless for over 7 years when a previous administration remodeled the area and turned it into office space, leaving the City Council and our boards without a permanent meeting space. We have repurposed and reconstructed the former fire station, which was attached to the building on the north end. And we have added a functioning elevator and remodeled the city clerk treasurer's quarters. This project will bring the public meeting space back to City Hall where it belongs. And once completed, the renovations of what I like to call the People's House will make the building 100% ADA compliant. No one at all will be excluded from participating in the city's governmental process or from accessing any of our services. We are hoping to have this project completed by mid-spring. We had actually hoped to have it done sooner. Construction is on time and we are on schedule, but delivery of furnishings and other items, and I'm sure that many of you in the business community understand that some of these deliveries aren't getting to you. So once completed, we're going to be hosting an open house, and I hope you will all come and see what a wonderful job our contractors have done on that. On another note, just across the street from City Hall, you'll see that the old utility building and the former bus parking lot were both demolished last year. These are both prime development properties, which are located in the very heart of our city and will be marketed this year for business and commercial development. We have missed our bus service, and I hear about that a lot. And I'm happy to say that AJ and I have been in talks with Express Air Coach on bringing the bus service back to the city. We still are in discussions with them. We will be getting back to you as soon as we come to some agreement with them. The past year, we spent $2.5 million in road improvement projects. The city received $1 million in state funding through the Community Crossings Matching Grant Program. The city and the RDC matched those funds and added more to it to complete a lot of needed road projects. And folks, I'm sorry to tell you, this is probably the bearer of bad news, because we're going to be doing a whole lot of road work again this year. And I know it's an inconvenience, and I know that people complain, but it's very important that we maintain our infrastructure in this city. We've applied for a 2022 Community Crossings Match Grant for an additional $1 million from the state, which will allow us to invest another $2.25 million in new road projects. This year's funding is going to touch about every corner of the city, and we are going to keep you informed on where we're at and where we're going with that road construction. We are also going to be undertaking 2 major road projects this year, and I want to emphasize these are major road projects. The one is Willow Creek Chrisman bypass. If you remember last summer, the bridges were done by the county. So now that the bridges are done, we can pave that stretch of road, which is absolutely horrible. This project is a $3.5 million project and is a federal project with local match funds. Bids were open last week, and we are hoping to get this project started in the spring. The other major long-awaited project is the Central Avenue West project, which will begin construction sometime in the summer. Phase 1 will include a new bridge over Willow Creek and roadway approaches. This new bridge will be completed just north of the present bridge and will allow us to realign Central Avenue. Now, this project is going to cause a lot of delays and it's going to be a lot of detours, so I would suggest that you pay attention to the information that's coming out, because rather than get stuck in traffic, you may want to plan your detour route, because this is a 2-year project and it's going to head west and realign the intersections of Central Avenue and Willowdale and Swanson roads, and is funded by a federal grant along with a 20% local match. Porter County will be contributing funds to this project because it is a bridge construction project, and the county does bridge construction. Work will continue this year on the development and extension of the Marquette Greenway Trail. I don't know if you've been following this. This was one place we took the governor's aide to. He was absolutely amazed. This is a $2.5 million next level trails grant from the state. The trail will continue from Deer Park Trail to the town of Burns Harbor. Ultimately, this trail will start in Chicago and end in New Buffalo, Michigan. I mean, it's a wonderful opportunity for people to ride their bikes and ride on the trails. And Portage is blessed. We have 3 trails: the Prairie Duneland, the Marquette Greenway, and the Iron Horse. So we are really rich with trails. The project will include about a mile of pavement, and then it will include a bridge over Salt Creek. Tree clearing is going to begin pretty soon, probably around April or May, and hoping for a completion around Thanksgiving. Another major long-needed project you'll see is the Sanitary Sewer Interceptor project. This is federal funded. The Interceptor pipe is the primary pipe that carries the wastewater from the city all the way to the treatment plant on the north end of the city. The pipe is approximately 50 years old. It's the only pipe we have that carries waste from Highway 6, 4 miles, to the plant up north. The problem with the Interceptor pipe, it has been found to have inflow infiltration, and by this I mean water from the outside is seeping into the pipe, causing excessive flow into our plant. The city received a grant from the Corps of Engineers for approximately $1.65 million. The Army Corps is funding approximately $1.25 million of this project, and the city is funding the other $470,000. The project is going to start at Soane Avenue and run north along Swanson, where contractors will coat the interior of the pipe to prevent this inflow from continuing. The Interceptor project is going to take at least a year to get done, but it's not all going to be disruptive to the residents other than the people who have backyards where this Interceptor pipe is running, and we're keeping in touch with them. The past year, the city has been involved in a greenhouse gas emissions project led by Earth Charter Indiana. I'm very excited about this project. Using a specially designed software, we were able to collect data concerning greenhouse emissions from specific groups. The data will help us in partnering with local stakeholders to form strategies to reduce greenhouse gases in our community, and sooner or later this will segue into a climate change project as well. I'm very excited about this project. We are also eagerly awaiting the delivery of our first compressed natural gas garbage trucks. The city received $549,689 in a grant from the Volkswagen Diesel Emissions Mitigation Program. This was last year was the last year you could get money from this lawsuit. And this is a part of a project called Drive Green Indiana, and we were able to capture those funds. We're also going to be applying to NOFA for a great portion of the rest of the money to pay for these CNG trucks, and it will be the first time that we've ventured out into having CNG trucks in our community, and we're very excited. We've toured several other cities that have them. It's a great opportunity for our city, and we're really excited about that. Sadly, because of delivery, we don't think we're going to see these trucks at all until sometime in 2023. So you can see, despite COVID, new business continues to come to Portage because we have a great opportunity for them. And other businesses who are here already are adding to their facilities and offering new, good-paying jobs to our residents. We're going to continue to work with these businesses along with our partners, the Portage Chamber of Commerce and Nancy Simpson, and Portage Economic Development Commission and its new director, Andy Milletta, to build on our city's tax base and provide opportunities for all of our residents. I want to thank you all for joining me today. Well, I updated you on a lengthy amount of things that are going on in our city. I think it's important to let you know, despite all of our financial woes, and even while we've been in what I call a sleepy COVID state for 2 years, we have continued as a city to work hard and keep moving forward. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve as your mayor and for working alongside this administration to make Portage the best city that it can be. Thank you again for coming out today. Please be safe. I know it's starting to sprinkle snow out there. Be careful driving, and thank you all again for your attendance and for supporting this wonderful city that we all live in. Thank you.